The sides out. We are counting down the minutes to kick off in the first derby of the season. The first time these sides have met in the Ladbrokes Championship. The 181st competitive derby between United and Dundee. United with by far the better record historically, 81 wins to Dundee's 55. Also the case in league derbies as well. This 137th league game between these two sides from the city. United with 63 wins to the D's 43. And it is United who, despite having one defeat in the season against East Fife, something the D's haven't managed, they're boasting an undefeated record. Primarily boasting that because the defeat that they had sustained against Aberdeen was in extra time, which in many quarters will go down as a draw over the 90 minutes, but it's not been a set of wins for the D's in the league campaign, league action. 2 draws to go with 1 win, and they have been struggling to find the target as well. They may have had a more secure back door, and Jack Hamilton didn't concede a goal through the group stage of the League Cup, but in terms of the campaign in the Ladbrokes Championship, they've been struggling for goals. They've been struggling to find somebody consistent in front of goal. Kane Hemmings on his return yet to find the target in the second spell at Dens. United have Lawrence Shankland, the in-form man in the division. And United have scored 14 in all games this season. Dundee, however, have netted less than that. They've only netted 8 times this season in all competitions, including a couple of penalties as well. And United, of course, could have had a penalty to add for their own rights last weekend had Lawrence Shankland completed his hat-trick from the spot. The flags now emerging in the curling stand, in the Eddie Thompson stand. The players gathering in the tunnel. You see that in the monitors in front of us. And as the match officials lead out the two sides from the City of Discovery, the first Dundee derby of the Ladbrokes Championship season. Many neutrals tipping these two to be at the top end of the championship come the end of the season. It's United who have opened up an early gap in the league over their City neighbours with maximum points from their first 3 games. United kick off in top spot. Already a 3-point gap over everyone else in the division, and 4 points separate the Tangerines to the D's, who are down in 4th spot after their first 3 games. Neither side have tasted defeat in the league this season. 2 draws and a win for the D's. United with those 3 straight victories. Changes to both sides in the starting lineup for United. There's a change that sees Mark Connolly come back in. He's fully fit. With Ian Harkes dropping down to the bench, that means Calum Butcher goes back into the midfield, and Peter Pollitt, on his way back to full fitness, comes into the starting lineup, with Nicky Clark also dropping down to the bench. For James McPeak's Dundee side, 2 changes in the midfield for them. Jamie Ness picks up the captain's armband. He comes into the starting lineup to replace Paul McGowan. Also into the starting lineup comes Josh Todd. He replaces 16-year-old Finlay Robertson, who also drops down to the bench. Referee this evening for this derby occasion is Kevin Clancy. He'll be assisted by Andrew McWilliam on this near side, and David Doig, who will be on the far side in front of the George Fox stand. 4th official this evening is Alan Muir. So the pre-match formality is being conducted out on the pitch, and despite only one of the starting lineup for United being over the age of 30, you sense there's more experience in those minds out there not to get affected by the derby occasion and the intense atmosphere, Dave.
Yeah, it's all about the start that United's had this season. Quickly banished any negative thoughts and started for me on the right foot. 3 wins, 3 difficult fixtures, and now we're sitting here playing the derby after 3 seasons. League derby doesn't come any better than that. Friday night football, a sellout capacity crowd, and it's all down to the players as Dundee will kick off tonight.
Yeah, Dundee's will kick off playing down the slope towards the Eddie Thompson stand. Referee Kevin Clancy just waiting for the OK, and we're underway. After a false start, we are now going to have a false start again. And we're still waiting for the OK from the fourth official on this near side. The third time of asking, we are now off and running at Tannadice, and the early ball played forward by the Dees goes out for a United throw on the near side. That will be taken by Jamie Robson. Robbie Neilson on the United bench looking to mastermind another victory. Header is won by Forster. Challenge between Ness and Butcher. The helter-skelter stuff you'd sense early on as that one bounces out of play through. Final touch came off a Dundee player. Johnson unable to get anything on that one. And that'll be a United throw. James McPake's first derby in charge on this Dundee side. It's Forster with a slack touch. A pair picks up just inside the United half. Switches out early to Paul McMullen. McMullen 25 yards out, looks for a pair, and there's a bounce off both player shins. A pair for United and Jordan McGee, and the ball runs through to Jack Hamilton in the Dundee goal. Already a couple of slack touches from Dundee players. I want to snuff that out as Hamilton in the pale blue goalkeeper's outfit kicks long up towards Johnson. It's over his head. And on the near side is Josh Todd competing with Jamie Robson. Robson does well, and that will be a United throw. Kevin Clancy has spotted a little bit of blood seeping from the head of Dundee skipper Jamie Ness, and he will have to go off to get that mopped up.
Yeah, I think that was the coming together between him and Butcher. Ball bouncing in midfield, two committed players, Butcher and Ness. And Ness will have to go off, and it's certainly one that's inside the hairline. Dundee down to 10 men, whilst they get some treatment to Jamie Ness.
Ness just for a moment struggling to try and think of some gamesmanship as United play a dangerous ball across their 6-yard box, but Siegrist can chip that one clear. He's picked up by Jordan Marshall for Dundee on the halfway line. And Ness seemed reluctant to walk off as instructed, to leave aside a man down temporarily. Wanted the physio to come on. The officials right on top of that one to send the Dundee player off. Just seeing again that not clash of heads between Calum Butcher and Jamie Ness. Calum Butcher coming out without any visible damage. And Jamie Ness still getting patched up on the touchline near side. That one's flicked on and will go into the hands of Benji Siegrist, who bowls out to the far side for Liam Smith. His first taste of Dundee derby action in the United shirt. And Paul McMullen, who picks up and feeds the ball through to Calum Butcher on the halfway line, looking to set a pair off down the right. Comes off Marshall, but a pair can collect possession. Right edge of the area. Slides it into Podlett, looks for the return to a pair on the byline, cuts it back, deflected behind. And that'll be the first corner of the match, United's way.
Yeah, United worked that pretty well. Stayed cool, kept the ball, just found a couple of passes in there and a pair. Could have let it go out for the corner first of all, but decided to get right back in the mix, but cut out.
First corner to United, wide on the far side, the United right. Peter Pollitt to deliver, takes it short. It's worked back now towards Butcher, 30 yards out. The ball was just behind Butcher's run. He feeds it back out to the right towards Stanton, who's dispossessed, and he then follows up with a challenge. It's penalised on Sean Byrne, and Dundee get the free kick. United electing not to throw the ball into the box, one that looked like it was worked off the training ground but didn't quite come off.
Yeah, I think, it seems to be a decent enough move, just not executed as well as they would like. Early days, only 4 minutes on the clock. United certainly started on the front foot.
Jack Hamilton well outside his area to take the free kick. He launches it long up towards Kane Hemmings. It bounces off his knee. He's collected in the middle of his own half by Paul McMullen, who feeds it to a pair. Crosses the halfway line, looking to square up Marshall. Across comes Ness to help him out. Dundee outnumber young Louis Appert and win possession back, and it's with Jamie Ness who lofts it long, looking for Hemmings. Flag stayed down, and it's Mark Reynolds who nods that one away. To be accurate with that one as he backtracks the United skipper. Now Appert breaking into the Dundee half again. Position inside right position. Edge of the 18-yard box. Lays it back now to Liam Smith. Stanton feeds it wide first time to McMullen. Level the 18-yard line, looking to go around the outside of Marshall. And the driven cross by McMullen is deflected behind off the Dundee left back. United get the corner.
Yeah, it's frantic pace here, going from one end to the other. It's going to be one of those games where can't really take your eye off it. It's not one you want to go to the shop, the cafeteria, and get something to eat or drink. It's going to be here for the full 90 minutes.
It's likely to be edge of your seat stuff throughout as United look like they may take this corner into the box. Sam Stanton stands over it, gives a signal, bends one in left footed to the edge of the 6-yard box. There's Paul McMullen who gets his head to the ball but can't keep the header down, flicks off the top of his head over the bar for a goal kick.
I'm not sure if you'll mention that too many times, that Paul McMullen heading it from that corner, but he did well trying to get across face of the front defender. Just a glancing header, but too much on it and high and up and over the bar.
One of those that you say, well, if you're going to try and surprise somebody off the set piece, you look for one of the small men in the box. You've worked your set piece routines and you can buy him some space. Maybe marked by somebody that's not too comfortable in there. Dundee try and apply some pressure. It's Liam Smith who clears for United, and again it's Appert who collects possession on the right hand side of the Dundee half as United look. He's out muscled this time by Jordan Marshall. Now United battling on the left hand side, and that will go out to play. Jamie Robson shoulder to shoulder in the opinion of the officials. And Josh Todd and Cammy Kerr will take throw in. Again, it's a Dundee throw on the near side. Flicked on by Hemmings. Headed away by Reynolds, but the second ball drops to Jamie Ness. Slips it towards the feet of Hemmings. He leaves it for Johnson. And on the near side, the assistant goes into conversation with the referee, and it looks like the goal will be scored. Still, conversation continues, and the flag has gone up belatedly. It's disallowed. Danny Johnson adjudged to be offside. The ball struck Kane Hemmings on the way through. Officials get that right between them. Kevin Clancy confirming to near side assistant that Andrew McWilliam that there was a touch off Hemmings before it made its way through to Danny Johnson. Therefore, Johnson at that time was in an offside position. And at that point where Kane Hemmings touches the ball, Johnson is offside. The flag goes up after that conversation. Dundee are denied the opening goal. Near side assistant Andrew McWilliam in the spotlight. He stood unmoved, clearly on the communication system with referee Kevin Clancy. Jamie Ness's ball through. The assistant didn't know, had to confirm with the referee Kevin Clancy there was a touch as it passed, and now it comes back out, and Johnson with a shot that's parried clear by Siegrist. United scramble it away out for a throw in on the far side. The visitors have their tails up, Dave.
Yeah, certainly United rocked by that offside goal in the end, but a couple of chances here. Dundee's certainly up for this now.
Shot is over the bar from 20 yards by Jamie Ness. And Dundee skipper from outside the area. In fact, it was Declan McDade who struck the effort over the crossbar. And as we see again, Danny Johnson having his shot saved, that time by Siegrist down to his right. Shot from 10 yards. Picked up some space. We'll see that again. And there's just a slight touch from Kane Hemmings. The first ball from Ness, but then Hemmings with a touch. And actually seeing the freeze frame, Liam Smith was still playing Danny Johnson onside. And with the benefit the video technology, we can now tell you that the officials got that one wrong. But no VAR here. It had to be in the mind of the assistant that Johnson was in an offside position as the ball passed Hemmings, and that's why the free kick was given. That's why that goal was disallowed.
Yeah, sore one to take for the D's, but United on the attack.
And United now get a corner up at the other end. Long clearance from United. Jordan McGee taking no chances under pressure from Louis Appert. Behind for a corner. Certainly Louis Appert has been all over the pitch in these first 10 minutes. Hard running. Coming from the 20-year-old. United now with a chance of their own from the set piece.
Yeah, third corner for United. United this time going to fire it in towards the 6-yard box.
Swung in by Stanton. There's a man down in the middle. Mark Connolly has gone down. Ball sails over the heads of everyone in the 18-yard box. He was out for a goal kick on the near side. There's just a coming together between Jordan Forster and Mark Connolly. Both men looking at the ball. Certainly no sign of a foul in there.
Yeah, Forster just standing his ground there. I think it was Connolly backing in. A sore one to take.
Well, they may not have had the benefit of VAR, the officials, but they did all they could to get their communication right between them. Assistant Andrew McWilliam was certainly in no position to see whether there was a touch from Kane Hemmings. Kevin Clancy had the better angle. They had the discussion, they weren't rushed into a decision. The assistant stayed where he was with the flag down until he confirmed with Kevin Clancy his view of proceedings. The Dundee player celebrating behind them, then raised the flag once they got their minds clear. Meantime, Shanklin looks to chip that one on to Robson down the left, and it's cleared by the D's. Out for a United throw-in wide on the left hand side.
Who said it'd be frantic? He said don't take your eyes off this game, and it's certainly living up to that billing. Only 11 and a half, almost 12 minutes gone. It seems like a lifetime already.
Stanton on the near side, feeds it back to Robson, his chip cross, and asks questions of Jack Hamilton, backpedaling, not quite the cross that Robson was looking for. Dropping right on top of the goalkeeper on the goal line, who had to keep safe handling there. The ball just dropped down underneath the crossbar. And he clears long, right-footed into the United half, where Sam Stanton heads it back to the halfway line. Now Cammy Kerr. Reynolds rather up early. Looked like he was given a shove by Johnson. No decision. Now Johnson plays it on the right hand side for Dundee. His cross plucked out the air by the hands of Benji Seagrist, still in the fluorescent goalkeeper uniform for United. And he rolls out to Paul McMullen, who finds Sam Stanton in the centre circle. United just looking to get some composed possession. Now it's Pollitt looking to glide past Cammy Kerr, who just body checks him down. And I think later in the game there'd be no question, but even this early Kevin Clancy has decided that is worthy of the caution. And the Dundee right back, first yellow card of the game. There's to Cammy Kerr. It looked like again Kevin Clancy gave himself a bit of thinking time there.
Kerr was never going to get back to challenge there. Paul was flying past him. Good intelligent play by Pollock. Gets his team up the park. Gets the full-back booked. And United have a free kick in a dangerous position.
Pollitt stands over the ball. A right-footed chip into the area. And it's off the head of Jamie Ness at the edge of the 6-yard box. It may have been Dundee who have had one goal disallowed, but it's United who now lead 4-0 on the corner count. Yet to really test Jack Hamilton from any of these set pieces though.
Yeah, a bit more presence in and around that box. United probing.
Corner comes in from the right hand side, a looping one towards the back post. Connolly heads it back into the danger area. Calum Butcher's up, looping header into the net. Calum Butcher gives United the lead. It's his second goal of the season, and his 54th game over 2 spells at the club. It's just his 4th goal. Neither the player on the line defending the far post nor goalkeeper Jack Hamilton could get anything on it. Connolly kept the ball alive from the corner. Butcher was up, 11 yards out, looping header. Looked like it may have been going to be headed away by Jordan Marshall, but the fingertips of Jap Hamilton took it away from his defender on the line. Butcher's header drops in behind both Hamilton and Marshall. And with 14 and a half minutes gone, it's Dundee United 1, Dundee 0.
Yeah, what a start for United. A goal disallowed for Dundee, and United perfect response under a little bit of pressure. Certainly came up trumps, and Calum Butcher, once again another vital goal from him.
We were just saying United had yet to test goalkeeper Hamilton with any of the set pieces to date. They certainly did on that occasion. Now Dundee look to strike back. It's Hemmings with a deep cross. Ness looking to pick up at the edge of the area. He's dispossessed by Paul McMullen. He looks for Shanklin. The ball is cut out by Forster. Had to get the vital touch there, Jordan Forster, although Shanklin was through. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, despite being 45 yards out. He'd have backed the United man to outpace the D's defence had Forster missed that one.
He had that big ooh from me as Forster just got enough on it to stop Shanklin. Almost had a clean run through there. The D's have won a throw in down the United half.
Hemmings lays off to Cammy Carr, dispossessed well by the challenge of Calum Butcher. Hemmings then manages to get the ball away from Robson, but it's cleared by Reynolds. United with a flick on from Shanklin. A pair trying to collect on the halfway line. He's been pulled from behind by Sean Byrne. And it's United who get the free kick. And you certainly sense that if they can get the tempo of the game down after that hustle bustle of the first quarter of an hour, United look the team are far more comfortable if the game gets into a controlled, measured possession game.
Yeah, exactly. They've got to stop the frenetic play and get on with it. Once again, Kerr and Pollock clashing. This time it's Pollock's turn to give away the free kick as Kerr blocked his path. He just tried to bundle him out of the way.
And we've seen the close-up slow-mo. He did Hamilton a disservice. He was at full reach. He couldn't get anything on the header from Calum Butcher. He actually skimmed off the head of Jordan Marshall behind him, who was probably unsighted by the goalkeeper coming across in front of him. Jordan Marshall another 5 or 6 inches in height, and we'd be talking about the game still being 0-0, I'm sure, as Connolly's forced to take a touch at the edge of his own area. And it's Jamie Robson who's challenged, and that'll go behind for a goal kick to United. Andrew McWilliam, near side assistant, very much with the eyes trained on him, as we see again on the monitor the freeze frame still. And really that's unfair against the official, because you pick the moment that's clearly away from Kane Hemmings' foot, and you'd say, well, let's get the 3D technology, let's get that dotted line down from the armpit, as you've seen down south in the VAR position.
Yeah, it's a hard one to call, Scott. It was a really brave decision from the assistant. You know, went in United's favour. Could he easily have went in Dundee's favour? Could be sitting here 1-1. But United do have that lead. Got yourself Calum Butcher. United on the break again.
Shanklin finds a pair wide on the right hand side. It's Forster who's across there. He's driven the ball into a pair, then looked to bundle over the United man.
Why is that not a foul?
Right in front of far side assistant David Doig, who decides there's no foul there. And he carries on. There's Connolly who's fell just inside the Dundee half, and United get the set piece.
Yeah, got the head in, just a little nudge there from Kane Hemmings. Since Connolly sprawling just as he was about to clear the ball.
Now it's played into the feet of a pair inside the area. Looks to turn away from Jordan McGee. Defender does well, and it's cleared by McDade. Connolly into the challenge with Hemmings. This time the free kick goes away at Dundee. Connolly, again, what we're used to seeing from Mark Connolly. He'll never shy away from getting the ball, even if he has to put himself in danger of going through a player in front of him. And on that occasion he had to have contact on the shoulder of Hemmings. And referee Kevin Clancy decides that a free kick 10 yards inside the Dundee half. Free kick's taken by McGee. And it's Jamie Robson who wins it in the air against Todd. Goes out for the throw into Dundee. And Hemmings, can he keep that one in? No, it's crossed the byline. It'll be a goal kick to United. Really, as much as there was focus on Lauren Shanklin's arrival at Tannadice, Kane Hemmings' return to Dens looked like it was certainly in the minds of the Dundee fans after the spell he had at the club alongside Greg Stewart. It looked like it was going to be the masterstroke for the D's, but as yet unable to have the same kind of impact as Shanklin has had in a United shirt. This is his third appearance in the second spell.
It's not the same impact as Calum Butcher either.
To be plenty of Lauren Shanklin's shirt in the hand of Jordan Forster as the ball was played forward. No free kick. And there's a slack one by Reynolds as it's picked up on the far side by McDade. The former airman is beaten for pace by McMullen, who came back to assist. McDade goes down very easily under the challenge of Reynolds in the area. There's no thought of a penalty in the mind of Kevin Clancy. Todd does well to hold off Butcher, who recovers with a challenge, but had to come from behind against Todd to make that challenge. Kevin Clancy awards the free kick away at Dundee, right of centre, midway inside the United half.
Yeah, again, United just giving it away too cheaply in their own half, bringing some pressure onto them.
Jamie Ness to take the free kick, flicks it into the area, left footed towards the back post. Hemmings in the 6-yard box, gets the equaliser. Protest from Mark Connolly in the thick of it, and may have come off a hand, but Kane Hemmings has the first goal in his second spell in a Dundee shirt. And with 21 minutes on the clock from close range, it's Hemmings who makes it. Dundee United 1, Dundee 1.
Yeah, the free kick deep in there, looks as though it could have been an offside, but went to the back post, a bit of holding at the back. Ball comes in, Hemmings didn't get it the first time, but second time the spin and high into the roof of the net. Benji Seeger should do nothing about it.
Yeah, certainly no chance of offside there. Hemmings was offside, in an offside position as the initial free kick was played, but he wasn't active. The ball was played far deeper than he was, and it was nodded back square by Jordan Forster rather, for Hemmings inside the 6-yard box to turn away and capitalise on the loose ball and level things up at Tannadice as we head towards the midway point of the first half. It's level at one apiece. I didn't want to jinx things in the lead up to kick off by saying that goals are normally aplenty in this derby. Both sides on target already, and Dundee coming forward again. The ball to the back post, looking for Todd. Well dealt with by Jamie Robson. He will clear the danger, but only as far as Sean Byrne. He bends across in, right footed to the back post, and the header of Johnson goes over the bar, out for the goal kick. Well, it looks like Mark Connolly has some trouble here. He's grabbed the back of his left leg. It looks like a hamstring. And he's battered the ground in frustration. The United number 5. I fancy certainly he will need treatment, but if that is a strain or a tightness in the muscle, you can't think United would take any chances there.
No, they can't. You can't play with a half-fit centre half. Dundee are really up for it. They've started to lift it. I think they're feeling aggrieved that they got the goal chalked off. They've got themselves back on level terms, and we certainly need to be careful in what we're doing going forward.
Just seeing you
see the shirt being pulled, but in the big terms of it, United didn't defend it enough.
Just seeing the very close slow-mo of the challenge that was penalised. It does look like the studs of Butcher did get a touch on the ball, but likewise it looks like the hand had the shirt of the Dundee player as well. You can certainly see why the officials gave the free kick, and certainly having seen the slow-mo of the free kick as well, you can certainly see why there was no offside awarded. There's been treatment for Mark Connolly, who's back to his feet but walking very gingerly across the near side, and United will make the change. I would imagine, as the board goes up, and we're correct that it is Ian Harkes who will come on. And United will be restored to the back four they had at East End Park, which kept a clean sheet in the 2-0 win against Dunfermline last weekend, with Calum Butcher dropping back alongside Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, I just thought that'll be a comfortable change for me as well. Harkes, I think we're not really dominating in midfield. That's the one area I feel we're a bit light. Harkes is going to come in there, a lot of energy, and Butcher at the back. Like you said, he played alongside Reynolds last week and they did very well, but it's a tougher prospect this week.
Game back underway. And the first substitution made, an enforced one for United. Ian Harkes replacing the injured Mark Connolly. It's a long ball played forward by Dundee, but that will bounce into the waiting hands of Benji Siegrist inside his 18-yard box.
Yeah, you can see Dundee's strategy. It's just as soon as it goes into their half, if they can get on it, try and turn the United defence and get balls over the top. The three up front are trying to force in there, but United trying to play it through the middle. Can't do it this time, but Reynolds gets in there for a headed clearance.
Laid off well by McDade to find right back Cammy Kerr, who drives it forward. Reynolds underneath it, but the second ball is picked up by McDade. On the right this time, his cross is blocked by Ian Harkes. And it goes out for a Dundee throw. Deep cross comes in, Siegrist. Strong handling despite being under pressure from Hemmings. I wonder if a free kick may have been given. In any case, Kevin Clancy allowing play to continue with the ball in the hands of Siegrist. Certainly looked like there was a bit of contact from the Dundee forward and onto the goalkeeper as the ball came towards them. Advantage played, and Sam Stanton releases a pass to Harkes. Good first touch, gets him away from Sean Byrne. Spreads it out to the right hand side for McMullen. Now Pollitt returns the ball to McMullen. Shanklin 30 yards out, finds a pair wide on the left hand side. The right foot cross comes in from the left. It's Pollitt looking to challenge. Swept clear by the left foot of Cammy Kerr. And it will go out on the far side, just by the halfway line for a United throw.
Yeah, United first probably introduction to the game for Shanklin for quite some time. He eventually got involved in that build-up play, but not really getting them on the ball enough. And another blood injury this time. Jordan McGee going to have to come off for some treatment.
Yep, so Dundee again temporarily down to 10, with Jordan McGee getting a patch-up job done above the left eye. Meantime, United have possession. Jamie Robson. It looks like James McPake is hurriedly looking for somebody to return from a warm-up. I wonder whether that may be serious enough to warrant some stitches, and maybe Dundee won't take the chance. Play continues. And Robson's looking to slide on into the area for Ian Harkes' run, but ball was just too straight and goes out for the goal kick.
Yeah, too much pace on it as well. I think just need to cut a little bit of that off, and would have been into the path of Harkes. Yeah, Jordan McGee's injury much more serious than Jamie Ness's ones earlier. Fast approaching the half-hour mark.
Goal kick is taken by Jack Hamilton. And halfway line, it's Lauren Shanklin in between two Dundee players. It's popped out to McMullen, who can run it. Jordan Marshall here. McMullen tries his luck from range, and it's Jack Hamilton who drops down to his right to collect the ball.
Yeah, not just the save, he kept hold of it, never spilled it. United had on rushing forwards in there if there had been a loose ball in there, but nothing. Did well, the big goalkeeper.
And Pollitt brings it down. 5 yards inside his own half. A pair quickly challenged by the sliding Sean Byrne. To take the throw in, there's Calum Butcher. He looks to play it into the feet of Pollitt. Again, Byrne goes to ground to slide in and clear the danger. Liam Smith returns the ball forward, and Pollitt in contact into the back of Byrne. The two number 8s challenging in the air. It's the Dundee number 8 who wins the free kick.
Yeah, just too frenetic for me. There's no real football getting played from either side. Just not really getting the ball down and getting moving with it. Just Still panic down on that Dundee bench, unsure what's happening.
Looks like they've patched up McGee, but despite them wanting to get him on before this free kick's taken, there's blood on his shirt, so he has to change his shirt under the close attentions of the fourth official. Long free kick is played into the area, punch clear by Siegrist. The pair couldn't keep that in play on the near side. There's a little bit of verbals from Jordan Forster to the United keeper after he'd punched that one clear. I think the backtracking Siegrist had just made contact with the Dundee player who was trying to get out the area. Certainly still some blood visible on the chin of McGee as he comes back on. Obviously wasn't spotted by the fourth official. So he's back on with the bandage around the head. Dundee have the throw that's taken by Cammy Kerr. Pollitt flicks on. Harkes beaten to it by the outstretched right foot of Sean Byrne. The former Livy man puts the ball out for a United throw midway inside their own half. Technical director at the ends, Gordon Strachan, watches on from the stand. And driving drizzle in the air as we have passed the half-hour mark here. And Lawrence Shankland is penalised, just making a back for Forster as he went to jump. He wasn't very subtle about it in the free kick. There's the way of the visitors. Free kick's taken by Forster. Plays it diagonally towards the left corner of the area. Butcher is fouled in there by Hemmings. Kane Hemmings getting his 34th Dundee goal, and this is 49th appearance to level things up. And Calum Butcher, the man he fouled there, having given United the lead quarter of an hour in. Eight of the last 9 derbies have had 3 or more goals in them. Already with a third of this one played, we've got 2 goals. 3 sides of Tannadice urging the Tangerines on to get the third goal of the match this evening, as Jamie Robson side foots back to Benji Siegrist, who clears right footed.
Surely referee
wrestled out to the ground this time by Forster. And Kevin Clancy, having penalised Shanklin a moment before, really had no choice there. He might have thought that it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and both players were grabbing, but Shanklin was penalised the last time. He had to give it against the Dundee defender this time. Shanklin was the man who was felled.
I think the giveaway that Shanklin was on the ground and Forster had his hands on top of him. I think that's what the giveaway was.
Peter Pollitt with a free kick, 30 yards out, clips it into the area. Looking for the head there, it comes back to a pair.
Yes!
United back in front, a thunderbolt by Louis Appert. The 20-year-old gets his first league goal in a Tangerine shirt, and it's a vital one in the derby. The initial free kick into the area, looking for the head of Shanklin, who knocks it down, and 12 yards out, Louis Appert, right-footed with a thunderbolt in off the underside of the bar. Hamilton got hands to it, but had too much power for the Dundee keeper. And with 33 minutes gone, it's now Dundee United 2, Dundee 1.
Yes, United really first time they've managed to get that second ball inside the box, and Louis Appert certainly dispatched that beyond Jack Hamilton with aplomb.
Ball flicked on by Hemmings as Dundee look to come forward. United clear that danger. Cammy Kerr keeps it in play down the near side. It's off the hand there of Josh Todd finally. Throw-in is going Dundee's way. We was talking about 8 of the last 9 derbies having had 3 goals or more. It's now 9 of the last 10. And it is United who have the third goal of the evening to put them back in front. And such has been his, not just his start to the season in a United shirt, but his start to the game tonight. He put so much effort in those early stages. Louis Appert thoroughly deserving the goal in the derby as Peter Pollitt runs away from Jamie Ness inside the Dundee half. McMullen on the right hand side. Up against Jordan Marshall. He's
penalty.
Down. Penalty United. Oh, it was a body check inside the area on Paul McMullen. As awkward looking a challenge as you'll see from the defender. I'm not sure if he lost his balance, but he just put his body across the Dundee United man, Declan McDade. Almost a rugby challenge as he led with a shoulder. A daft penalty to give away. Can United capitalise? It's Lawrence Shankland with the ball in the spot. Can he keep his run going of having scored in every league game? This to give United the cushion of a 2-goal advantage. Shankland, right-footed, scores! Hamilton went to his right. Shankland drives it down the middle. And Lawrence Shankland is into double figures for the season. His 8th league goal in a tangerine shirt. He's only averaging 2 a game in the Ladbrokes Championship. And with 9.5 minutes of the first half remaining, it's now United 3, Dundee 1.
Yeah, one that's drilled down the middle, but you've got to think about, certainly it looked as though McDade had slipped as he was trying to make the challenge, but he took McMullen out. The referee had no other choice. McMullen was heading towards the goal. Definitely a penalty, and there's Shankland delivers it. Gives United that 2-goal advantage over Dundee. It's Dundee United 3, Dundee 1.
Well, the danger of Paul McMullen running out of defence evident once more. And McMullen again with the ball. This time he's felled by Jamie Ness coming in from the side. Kevin Clancy just holding out his hand and asking the Dundee skipper just to calm down. McMullen just taking a moment to get back to his feet. Clancy checking that he's doesn't need treatment. And there'll be a word of warning for the Dundee skipper. Cards kept in the pocket this time.
Just how a game could turn on something so simple as that. 2 goals for United in 3 minutes. Just when Dundee were taking a grip of the game.
Now into the area, it's Pollitt with a shot wide from the edge of the 6-yard box. Had to take it on the run. A very difficult angle on the left foot, left and wide of the outside of the frame of the goal. Couldn't reverse it enough to get it on target. Well, there's a little bit of trying to play down Lawrence Shankland's prowess up front from some of the Dundee fans coming into this one. He hadn't scored against the top team side and they just come down from the top tier. In 5 previous games against the Dark Blues, across his spells at Queen's Park, Aberdeen and Ayr United, 2 goals and 1 assist. Well, in the United shirt, he's not even played half a game yet and he scored 1. And we've seen enough this season to suggest that with more than half a game to go, you can't just rest at 1 when you're talking about how many Lawrence Shankland might score.
Yeah, you've got to think that Shankland, Dundee's got to go forward. Shankland will get a bit more space up there. He's certainly not been much in the game, but to get that third and vital goal just before half time gives United that little bit of breathing space. And you see United now are the team that've got the tails up. Shankland this time with a little flick down. Kerr gets it out for a throw in, but it's going to be United's way. He said it took a clip off Louis Apera, but it didn't. It's going to be a throw in to United.
You'd have to say that the first half so far is pretty much as quiet as you've seen in a United shirt from Lawrence Shankland in terms of seeing the ball, but he still managed 1 assist and 1 goal. He nodded down for Apera's goal. He took the penalty and scored himself. Did that graze off Jordan Forster on its way out? It did. It's the United corner.
That's what you would call a freebie. You just had to guide that one out. I'm not sure what Jordan Forster was even thinking about, even getting as close to the ball for it to come off him. There's not a United player within 5 yards of him.
United's 5th corner of the first half. The last one paid dividends. It was the one that gave United ultimately the opening goal. It's been a while since the last corner. This is from the left-hand side, taken by Pollitt to the edge of the 6-yard box. Calum Butcher at the double for United. Glancing header 6 yards out, in off the post on the far side. And United are threatening to run away with it. 5.5 minutes of the first half left. It's United 4, Dundee 1.
Yes, what a finish. Calum Butcher again, just a glancing header in off that back post. What a run. Gets a front of his man, Jamie Ness. And it nestles in the bottom of the net. United really have turned this game around.
Calum Butcher. Too much strength there for Jamie Ness in there. A mismatch if ever there was. Dundee skipper couldn't cope with him. And he had the presence of mind to look for finesse with a header off the bottom of the far post. And United 4-1 up. And there's still 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Oh, so much talk about Lauren Shankland. It's Calum Butcher who's on the hat-trick with more than half the game remaining.
They wouldn't have got too much good odds on Calum Butcher getting 2, but you know, what was the odds on him getting 3?
Ball played forward, looking for Jamie Robson. He's up against Jordan Forster, who gets there on the stretch again. So many Dundee challenges have been stretching in, almost last ditch.
Yeah, and that's what happens. They get too close, missed time challenge, and the one with McDade, I've got a little bit of sympathy. He did slip as he went to make the challenge on McMillan. Definite penalty, but United really do need to stamp their authority on this now.
Dundee have a goal kick, and for the D's it will be a case of just trying to get some composure back. The glum faces of those in the visiting support. Well, they had so much hope after getting themselves level midway through the first half. Since then, well, United have been raining goals as the rain has fallen. Butcher with a header. Hemmings touch. Butcher nods forward again. A pair too high for Shankland on the halfway line. Butcher up early. Shankland is just penalised there for arms around the side into Jordan Forster, who's competing for the header. Free kick to Dundee, just inside their own half, inside the centre circle, played long. And they'd have to be careful there. Could see a bit of Jordan Forster's shirt being pulled as the ball went into the area. I think Ian Harkes was the man marking him. And got hands off him soon enough. And the ball sails over everyone and bounces out for the goal kick.
It's only a couple of minutes to half time. There probably will be a little bit added on time due to the injuries and the substitution early in the game, but you spotted an infringement in that last challenge here, Scott.
It'll go out to play. Greasy surface now with this. I said drizzle earlier. Still looks very fine rain, but it's falling it very heavily. You see the absolutely soaked coat to Robbie Neilson at the edge of the technical area. Really has a skimming gloss on top of the playing surface here, which, as we said earlier, if anything, if United can adjust the passing, that'll surely be a card this time.
Challenge.
It was Sean Byrne rather than Jamie Ness. I thought initially it was Ness. It was Todd actually who made contact with the ankle of Paul McMillan, who just was too quick to control the ball in front of Todd. And again, just a challenge that was just mistimed, just late into the ball. Just second to the ball, as they have been so often in this first half, Dundee. United certainly won't be complaining.
No, they can't complain.
McMillan shows no ill effects of that challenge.
Yeah, they can't complain, Scott. You know, for me, I think until we got our noses in front again, you know, Dundee have been the team that has been stronger and looked more at danger. But United have come in with those 4 goals. You can't argue with that.
Throw in on the far side to Dundee. This time it's United player sliding in. Peter Pollock getting to the ball in front of Marshall to guide it out for another throw. Marshall brings it back to centre half McGee. The United fans in full voice and in full swaying, dancing, bouncing action in the Eddie Thompson stand. Our side have a bit of defending to do here as we're into the final minute of the first half. McDade looking to go around the outside of Smith. The cross is just too deep, too high for Danny Johnson, who leapt but couldn't get anything on it. Keeps it in play on the near side though. Cammy Kerr inside now to Byrne. Byrne square to Ness, midway inside the United half. Short ball picks out McDade. Now on the overlap is Marshall, former Queen of the South left back. Plays it back to McDade. He's been shepherded back towards the halfway line by the pressure of Harkes. And now here's Forster once more for the D's. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Stoppages in the first period for treatment. Head knocks on 2 Dundee players, Jamie Ness and Jordan McGee, and also the injury to Mark Connolly. He was forced off with what looked like a hamstring injury. We're into added time at the end of the first half. Well, for United fans, they quite gladly see the play continue without an interval. They're enjoying themselves, and rightly so, with a 4-1 advantage.
Yeah, it's a tremendous score considering United have not performed anything like they've done it so far this season, but you know, it's fighting spirit, it's determination, it's teamwork, and they've got that never say die attitude. It's getting them through this game. 4-1, you know, a fantastic turnaround in 45 minutes.
A pair slips into the feet of Pollitt. Now Robson on the left hand side. United finishing the half deep inside Dundee territory. Can they create another opening before the half time whistle? Robson loses out there to Johnson on the near side touchline, and despite winning the free kick, Danny Johnson also shows his frustration and gives a verbal blast to the referee from 15 yards away as he jogs forward. Quickly taken free kick by goalkeeper Hamilton. Hemmings mistimes his jump for it, and he's beaten in the air by Mark Reynolds. Marshall just had the hand of Lawrence Shanklin on the shoulder at the edge of the centre circle. Shanklin thought he might be away, but the whistle blew. Dundee get the free kick just on the edge of the centre circle inside the United half. We're almost up to the 2 added minutes that were indicated. Final few seconds of the first half. The ball is chipped in by Ness into the area. Siegrist comes off his line. Did he get anything on it? He may have got a glancing touch. The ball went beyond him, and there goes the half-time whistle. Well, United had a scare early on inside the first 10 minutes when a very belated offside flag went up to deny Danny Johnson an opener. A very lengthy conversation between referee Kevin Clancy and nearside assistant Andrew McWilliam before the offside flag went up for the slightest of touches by Kane Hemmings, then deeming the Dundee striker to be offside. United then opened the scoring on the 15-minute mark. Their fourth corner of the first half. Helter-skelter stuff as you'd expect in the opening stages. Pollitt's corner from the right-hand side. Mark Connolly backtracking, headed it back into the danger area, and a looping header from Calum Butcher over the reach of the diving Jack Hamilton, skimmed off the head of Jordan Marshall on the line and into the net. United taking the 1-0 lead. They were pegged back though as the D's pulled level midway inside the first half. Jamie Ness's free kick chipped into the area. Jordan Forster at the back post, nodding square across the 6-yard line. And Kane Hemmings managed to get the ball under control and then spun on the loose ball to fire home from close range to level things up. And United from there have dominated. 33 minutes they took the lead again. Pollitt's free kick into the area. Lawrence Shanklin nodded down, and there was Louis Appert to take the ball on the chest and fire right-footed in off the underside of the crossbar. 2 minutes later, Declan McDade, he may have lost his footing, but there was certainly no doubt about the penalties. He brought down Paul McMillan inside the area. Lawrence Shanklin may have seen his spot kick saved last weekend. No mistake this week though. He fired straight down the middle to give United the 3-1 lead, and Shanklin to get his 10th goal of the season in the United shirt. And then 4 minutes later, United scored from another corner. Pollitt's corner on the left hand side this time. Calum Butcher holding off Jamie Ness to glance his header off the inside of the far post, and the ball going across the line into the back of the net. And that was plenty of goals, 5 of them in the first half, 4 of them the way of the home side. Half time at Tannadice in the first derby of the season, and it's Dundee United 4, Dundee 1. They mentioned the early scares. That was, we said inside that first 10-15 minutes, United, if they could get the ball down, once that pace of the game would drop, United looked by far the better team in terms of playing the ball about, creating advantages rather than just hustle bustle and trying to put pressure on players and win second balls. And as the halves progressed, there's been no doubt that United have been more and more on top, as the scoreline shows.
Yeah, Scott, I'm really, really happy. Don't get me wrong, I'm really, really happy with the score. But in terms of, how United have played, I'm not saying disappointed, just frustrated would be the better word. United have tried to get the ball down and play, but it's not came off for them. But you got to hand to them for determination and getting back into this game. When Dundee had the goal chalked off, their tails were up. United got the first goal. Dundee came back and equalised. Their tails were up. And I thought United's really in for a hard time here. I could only see Dundee going on and score more because they'll look so strong, they'll look powerful, they looked a handful in our box. But we've dug in there, we've commanded parts of the park that we didn't do early in the game, and it's turned it around. And as a result, we've been in good positions and we've scored. I think we've been fortuitous in a couple of things. One, the goal is chalked off for Dundee. Two, for the penalty that McMillan was brought down. For me, it was a penalty, but if McDade hadn't slapped, he was going to get across there and shepherd McMillan away. But United get the benefit of both of those. 2 out of the 5 corners that they had in that first half, 2 corners, the second ball was scored off of both of them. Connolly putting the header back in, and then the Butcher scored off of, and the knockdown which Perry scored off of. I thought it was great. I think United's determination to get back into this game, it summed up the team this season.
Yeah, and certainly some happy scenes amongst the 3 sides of the ground, housing the United fans as we headed towards the half-time interval. Dundee fans disgruntled at their side as they approach the first half. I'm sure there'll be plenty of disgruntlement from the visiting fans to the near side assistant Andrew McWilliam for raising the flag, but try to explain the discussion that was clearly going on between referee and near side assistant. You could certainly see that from up here, that the assistant couldn't tell from his angle whether Kane Hemmings had got a touch as the pass was played through by Jamie Ness. And he had to enlist the help of referee Kevin Clancy, who was in the position to see that Hemmings had taken a touch on the way through. And Johnson slipped the ball beyond Benji Siegrist. Good finish by the Dundee man, it must be said, the former Motherwell youngster. But the officials had that presence of mind to complete the communication. The assistant doing as he needed to do in that position. He didn't signal anything after the ball went into the net. He stood stock still in line with where the forward had come from, in discussion with the referee. Once they had it confirmed that Kevin Clancy knew what the assistant was talking about and saying, well, he might be offside, did that take a touch on the way through? The referee confirming, yep, as that was played through, the 28's got a touch before the 18s stepped onto it. And then once they got that decision sorted, the flag went up. Somewhat of a comical look about it, with the Dundee players celebrating en masse right behind where the assistant was on the touchline by then. But the important thing is to get the clear decisions from the officials. They had the chat between them. There wasn't a rush decision. Well, with the benefit of video, and we can talk about the benefits of VAR and the likes, as the TV company freeze-framed the picture as the ball is on the foot of Kane Hemmings, you can see that actually Danny Johnson is in line with Liam Smith on the far side, in which case he would have been onside. But all that the officials can do is make the call from their angles, and part of the reason for VAR existing is the fact that with VAR there's been so much debate and protestation and critical nature of slow decisions and things being on the breadth of the width of a hair almost in terms of calling things offside or not. well, without VAR, officials can only go on what they see with their own eyes, and with players crossing each other, they can only go on what they see, and that's what they did tonight.
And also think that you've got to give the assistant credit. From the position he was in, it must have been a difficult call, and it'd be so much easier for him to say I'm undecided and not give it. That was a brave decision. Whether it went for United or not, it's immaterial. It was a brave decision for him to say he was offside, right? It takes guts in a big game like this, so early in the game, for him to go and say, chalk the goal off as offside. And it must have put Dundee and their fans back a little bit. But hey, listen, they fought back into it, and for a lot of that they controlled it. But United, I'm just so impressed about when they're under pressure that they can perform and still go on and score 4 goals in return after Dundee equalised. That's a fantastic thing to have in your armoury. Fantastic thing to rely on when you're not playing your best, when you're not fast flowing free football. And for Shankland to stand up and a week after his penalty being saved, blast that one in, albeit Jack Hamilton I think got a touch on the way in, but right down the middle, block of power on it, and gives United, puts United on the road to victory today.
Yep. May only be halfway through, but at the moment it looks like the weather that poses more of a danger to United than the visitors at Tannadice as the second half plays on. Seen the TV company focusing on a drain in the top of the curling stand that is letting water through, and the puddles that are forming on the trackside in front of that curling stand, the shed end. Certainly no indication there's any surface water lying on the playing surface. But the groundsman's out there with the fork, just helping the drainage and replacing some of the divots created by some of the challenges and boots in the first half. And both sets of subs out there as well, and some absolutely soaking training gear out there as the weather continues to rain down, and after such a pleasant week, a little bit of facetious outlook at life to know that as soon as you get to the weekend and the finish on a Friday afternoon, the rain starts and everything looks like it's absolutely soaking. But the 12,000 or so United fans in here won't care about that's for sure. Their weekend looks like it's going to start quite nicely, thank you very much.
Well, I would say that if we were to caption it, it's going to be singing in the rain, Scott. That's what it's going to be tonight. United fans are well on the way to being a joyous start to the weekend. But still 45 minutes to go. Dundee will have other ideas about what's went on in that first half. They'll feel aggrieved. They'll think that they've got to come out, but they'll also think, what do we need to do to win games like this? Sitting at 4-1 at half time, there's memories of a 6-2 win going through my mind. Still plenty of time for a 6-2.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's plenty of goading from those supporting the side from across the street when United were last in a league derby across at Dens. This season United were relegated from the Premiership. They lost both derbies at Dens in that season. But things at Tannadice haven't been bad at all in terms of recent form for United by any means. The last time United lost to the D's at Tannadice was back in August 2004. In the 10 derbies since then, before tonight, United have won 6 and drawn 4 across all competitions, including friendly games such as the centenary match here that United had and one of the Discovery Cup games. But that looks very, very much like midway through this one. It may well be 7 wins and 4 draws.
Just going back to that 6-2, because I like to go back to that. Calum Butcher played in that game. The only United player is playing today that was playing in that 6-2 win. I remember that much more fondly than the 4-1 defeat and 2-1 defeats you were talking about, but let's just keep that one front and foremost. 6-2.
So, given you remember it so fondly, what was the rest of the starting lineup in that evening?
Well, no, he scored number 6.
Even that afternoon. The New Year's derby.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night. I think there was a heavy rain on that evening as well. We had a shank in the goal.
Yeah, it was. So you must be like me, trying to think of it as an evening game there, when in actual fact I think it was the New Year's game in the afternoon, wasn't it?
New Year's
I think it was just a little bit of a darkness early on with the weather closing in.
Went long on into the evening then, is that what it was, Scott?
I think the partying may well have gone long into the evening. That's for sure.
And you mentioned there was another game on someplace.
Yep, and this isn't the first game of the championship weekend. It was the second kick-off in the Ladbrokes Championship this weekend. This one may well be on BT Sport tonight, but BBC Scotland are showing the game up in the Highlands between Inverness Calais Thistle and Greenock Morton, and as that one closes in towards the end, there's no doubt over who's taking the points in that one as well. John Robertson's side maybe struggling for goals a little bit so far this season, but they certainly found their form in front of goal tonight with 7 minutes remaining up in the Highlands at the Caledonia Stadium. It's Inverness Calais Thistle 5, Greenock Morton 0. Calais Thistle leading 1-0 with a goal from James Keatings 2 minutes before the interval. And the former United and Hamilton man got his second of the evening a minute into the second half to make it 2. Jordan White made it 3-0 midway through the second half. And Cold Olsen on 76 minutes. And Nikolai Todorov on 80 minutes with goals there. Let's see the home side, John Robertson's side, leading by 5-0 late on in that game. It won't be a 5-1 lead for the home, 5-0 lead rather for the home side here, because United have conceded in that first half, but on the basis of what we saw in the later part of that first period, you wouldn't bet against it being a 5-1 lead for the home side at some point in the next 45 minutes. No,
and I think there's a lot of questions to be asked by Dundee, I think, of themselves. Do they go and try and get back in this game, try and recover a 3-goal deficit, or do they make sure that United don't go on the rampage and score many more? It's a tough decision for a young manager so early in his career, but I'd rather it was him than Robbie Neilson facing that decision.
Yeah, United will be looking to continue where they left off in the first half, keep that momentum going as we approach the second period. Both sides are back out, as are the match officials, just waiting for the all clear from the television company. Fourth official Alan Muir gets the nod from floor manager Phil Sainsbury downstairs, and we're underway in the second half. Kevin Clancy gets us off and running again. United kick off, attacking down the slope, their favoured direction. Not bad, the least favoured direction in the first half has only seen them open up a 4-1 lead, and the home fans in the Eddie Thompson stand, the end United are attacking in the second half, already finding their voices.
Yeah, it's a friendly banter that seen nowhere else in Scottish football.
Yep, these again, the pre-match tradition of getting changed at the home ground as Harkes strikes!
Oh yes!
And Harkes scores! Deflection on the way through, but it's taken United less than a minute in the second half to continue where they left off. And it's raining goals on a rainy evening. Ian Harkes scored on his United debut. That's the only time he's found the net in the United shirt until this evening. 25 yards out. His strike deflected off Jordan Forster. And there's nothing Jack Hamilton to do to stop the ball finding the back of the net. And on 46 minutes, it's United 5, Dundee 1.
Yeah, what a strike from Harkes. That one flew into the net of a Forster. Harkes delighted. The 12,000 United fans delighted.
And we see in shot There's quite a few busy walkways in the stands beneath us, housing the Dundee fans who may have had small hope in the second half. There's a last-ditch challenge from Forster, slide in against Pollitt to stop him going through one-on-one. They may have had little hope at half-time, but given their team the benefit of the doubt to see if they could turn things round in the second period, and then see them concede again within a minute. And that's enough for many of these Dundee fans to head for the exits. Well, it looks like it will be another memorable derby day for the United fans. And that's played long forward by Jordan McGee.
Yeah, long ball just through there. Reynolds and Segris allowing it just to go over the byline for a goal kick. But what a start to the second half. We had wondering how United would shape up, how Dundee would react, would they try and go and get back in the game and reduce that 3-goal deficit. Well, they're facing a 4-goal deficit now, as Dundee make some substitutions.
It's a time for calm minds. Certainly not a calm mind that's coming on for Dundee, that's for sure. Yeah. The fiery Paul McGowan replaces Danny Johnson. I think this may well be about damage limitation for the D's, adding another man into the midfield. Striker off, midfielder on. And the last thing the D's need is for the evening to get even more humiliating, as United have dominated from midfield forward. The 4-4-2 and leaving two strikers up hasn't really worked for them this evening, it must be said. Being 5-1 down and having conceded again in the second half, James McPake decides that maybe discretion is the better part of valour, and stiffening up that midfield maybe a good idea as Lawrence Shanklin collects from McMullen. McMullen continues his run forward. Shanklin plays him in, right edge of the area, slides it across the 6-yard line, and it's Cammy Carr who's back there to slide the ball clear. Dundee again stretched at the back, and Pollitt on the near side is penalised for a grab on Jordan Marshall. And Paul McMullen has shown himself to be a fiery character, and maybe that's what James McPake has also thought he needed in the team. Somebody who's willing to battle and fight no matter what the situation, no matter what the occasion. Yeah, joked that it was a time for calm heads, but certainly as a Dundee fan you'd want to make sure you had somebody out there that isn't willing to meekly see their side give up a humiliating defeat.
Yeah, but it could also go the other way. I think sometimes he puts too much fire into his game, and these are the kind of games where you'll get carried away. But at the moment, it's all going United's way. 5-1 to the good. 50 minutes played.
Ball is out on the far side for a United throw it. Just in the lead up to that Ian Harkes goal, I was mentioning that Dundee completing the pre-match tradition in Dundee derbies of getting changed in their own dressing room and walking down the road before the warm-up. Something that James McPake had to reinforce to Jimmy Nicholl wasn't a wind-up. Jimmy Nicholl, who's, shall we say, more used to slightly different derby atmospheres than the friendly one, and the friendly rivalry in this city, as Jamie Robson's ball across the area is cut out by the D's. United win it back. Pollitt flicks it through looking for Shanklin, and McGee manages to clear the danger. Stanton looks to open it out, but it's behind Pollitt, picked up by Marshall. United fans again. Rendition of Annie Song, swaying from side to side in the curling stand. United fans occupying the shed as per the old tradition.
Calum Butcher, I think he was in centre midfield I'd like to see him back there, parting Reynolds.
It's a difficult one. They were playing against two strikers. McGowan has come on. He's trying to play between the lines in front of the midfield, dropping off Hemmings, who's now up there himself. And Butcher tracking that run deep. Penalised. Free kick comes into the area towards the head of Jordan Forster. It's knocked down and cleared there by the right foot of Liam Smith. And gathered midway inside his own half by goalkeeper Jack Hamilton, who's now one short, repeating Marvin Shanks' record in his first Dundee derby. We did say, given the score in the Highlands, when Inverness were leading Morton by 5-0, that you wouldn't bet against it being 5-1 at any point in the second period here. And that is the scoreline now, as Dundee take a quick free kick just inside the United half. McGowan again coming deep, plays off to the halfway line for Forster. Kerr on the far side, plays it infield to Josh Todd. Kerr again goes back to Byrne, and now it's Forster square to McGee. Still with that headband on after the facial knock in the first half. It had to be patched up. Dundee lose possession inside the United half. Stanton finds Harkes. We're looking for Shanklin to make contact with the boot as he was making the run inside, but the pass was fizzed at him, bounced off him. Dundee have it back. Byrne plays it out to Kerr. Now Byrne again, 5 yards inside his own half. Plays it square for McGee. McGee has a look up. A little bit of space for Todd. He's met by the challenge of Stanton. Stands up to that though, turns away, collects the ball again. Into the feet now of McDade. Now Kerr stepping in from the right hand side, 25 yards out, lays off to McGee. Jordan McGee. Advanced position, looks to slip one through the gap for McDade. Jamie Robson recovers, prevents the corner. Gets the ball out for a throw in on the far side. Kerr gets it back from Todd. Now Todd looks to get the cross in. Looking for Hemmings, who's challenged in there by Liam Smith. And the second ball at the edge of the area is won by Pollitt. Shanklin gives chase, but Forster is there. And Louis Appert. There's one United to throw in, 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, he did well, just sliding in, got a touch and it came off of Cammy Kerr. Rain, it's absolutely hammering down here. I don't think the thousands of United fans in the ground care a jot about that. Ball comes wide here to Liam Smith, spins off his foot and does well to keep it in.
McMullen inside to Stanton. Harkes makes the forward run. Stanton decides to use that as a decoy and finds Robson on the far side. He plays into the feet of Harkes wide on the left. Robson back to Stanton once more, 10 yards inside United territory, Dundee territory rather. Ball was looking for a pair. It's gathered in the right back area by Cammy Kerr, who clears down the line. And now it's Todd. Marshall on the left hand side for Dundee. McDade ahead of him. Flicks the ball back to Marshall. Challenged by McMullen. McMullen won the ball back, but it's been pulled back for previous contact. Free kick goes the way of Dundee, wide on the left hand side. Vanishing spray goes down to mark the spot to take the free kick. And likewise the line for where Paul McMullen needs to stand as the one-man wall being positioned by Benji Siegrist. As Declan McDade prepares to take the free kick. Fizzes it right footed to the back post. And looking for Ness. And there's one in front of him by Appert. United clear the danger. And Stanton is fouled on the far side. United get the free kick. For those on the live on video feed, I'll tell you that we're aware the picture may well have frozen for you. We're looking to rectify that. You'll see that the clock is continuing. An issue with the feed from the TV company at the moment that we're looking to rectify.
Keep you going with Sound only.
And Segrist clears long. Met by the head of McGee. Hemmings takes it down, looking to hold play up and link up with Ness, who has to be quick on the pass with Stanton closing him down. And because he's quick on the pass, he side foots out of play. First time for a United throw on the far side. In front of the George Fox stand, still that mist of heavy, drizzly rain falling. James McPake looks a soaked and desolate figure at the edge of the Dundee technical area beneath us. McGowan lifts the ball high, looking for Hemmings. It's Reynolds who gets his head to it, and that'll be a Dundee throw-in on the far side. Meantime, have a moving picture again, albeit from behind the goal at the Eddie Thompson stand end, while we look to patch things up with the TV company feed. It's the Arab Zone camera high in the Eddie Thompson stand that is showing the pictures at the moment, with the ball at the other end in the hands of Benji Segrist. So it's a case of game management really for both sides now. Dundee have made that slightly defensive change, McGowan coming on to replace Johnson. United
Tony's a sensible man. Tony's had many different
defensive line to break through now, but with a 5-1 advantage they don't need to take the chances and break through it. It's a case of, do United just pop the passes about when they get it, or do they really look to step up the pace and go on the front foot and look to add to this 5-1 advantage they have?
Well, I think they've got to, as you said, game management at 5-1 up. You don't get any more points for a 6th goal, much as the fans would want it, much as we want it as commentators on the game. But Dundee have been well and truly trounced. Let's not give them the opportunity to get anything in behind us, make it tight and make them work hard for anything they're going to get in this game.
I think there's an element of game management about the D's approach as well, as Jimmy Nicholl gives final instruction to another substitute. Here's Declan McDade meantime, 25 yards out. McGowan just inside the area, looking for support, rolls it back to McDade. McDade comes inside onto his right foot, and the shot is blocked. Segrist sprints out, can't get a block on the ball before it spins out of play, and this will be Dundee's first corner of the match.
Yeah, just a block, puts it up. Segrist can't get to it, and United have to
corner comes
defend
in, it's
this.
headed away by United. Comes out now on the left hand side to Marshall. Blocked by McMullen. Gets the ball out of play for the throw-in. Andrew Nelson is going to join the action for Dundee. He's their second change. And it's going to be Josh Todd who makes way for him. As we head towards the hour mark. I mentioned a bit of game management by the day since McGowan has come on. It does look like it's Dundee are equally happy to get the ball and play some passes around. They're certainly not chasing with urgency and commitment to try and get back in the game and have the Alamo charge forward. I think they're quite content to prevent the damage from getting any worse. And if they happen to get anything else in the way of a goal back, then they'll take the opportunity. But they have a free kick as McGowan got himself in between two United players.
Butcher again in the middle of it.
Oh, it's McGowan who's in the middle of it. Free kick to Dundee taken by Declan McDade. It's a deep one looking towards the centre half. Forster heads it back central. It's off the shoulder and Ness, and actually it was off the top of the arm. Says Kevin Clancy, who blows for the free kick.
Yeah, just not going for the D's. Ball bouncing about in the United box. Definitely came off the arm. Even the movement of the arm put it away from the United defender.
Yeah, that's one thing about having the captain's armband on. If you're wearing a fluorescent yellow band on a dark blue shirt, it's fairly obvious to the referee if you shove the fluorescent yellow band onto the ball from 5 yards away from the official. Need to take the free kick, but it's Dundee who clear up towards the halfway line. Hemmings holds it up and finds Cammy Carr. Ball looking on the far side for Nelson, who gets in front of Jamie Robson and wins his side the free kick. Just the one caution so far this evening. Clancy showed yellow card to Cammy Carr for a body check on Peter Paul at 13 minutes in. And no further yellow cards shown to either side as that one comes through towards McDade, who won't catch that after the first touch, and it will roll out for the goal kick. 62 minutes gone, it's still United 5, Dundee 1. Maybe a time that Robbie Neilson is thinking about further changes as well. I can see that Gordon Forrest just onto his feet from the bench as well, having a chat with Robbie Neilson, who comes back from the edge of the United technical area. And you mentioned before kick-off that after 2 substitute appearances there may be doubts over whether Peter Pollitt would manage a full 90 under his belt tonight. I think he'd be happy enough to continue out there, but it might be a time in the game where Robbie Neilson thinks about maybe just making sure that there's no extra pressure put on Peter Pollitt's fitness rather.
Yeah, I think he's got to take that into consideration. It's going to be trying conditions. Pollitt not playing a full game for a while.
United play the free kick into the area. It's headed away by Jordan McGee. He comes back towards McGee again, who takes it on the chest, despite the appeals from United fans for handball. He looks for Nelson. He's beaten to it by the challenge from Jamie Robson that goes right through, out for the goal kick at the other end.
Yeah, United a lot sharper now in defence, getting those challenges in, getting closer to the men. You know what a difference the turnaround is making, but United definitely are taking the grip of this game.
James McPake was out there shouting on some instruction while the ball was out of play, waiting for the goal kick to be taken. Andrew Nelson has come on to play on the right hand side. It's still very much a 4-2-3-1 for Dundee. McGowan playing the number 10 role, and McDade on the left hand side. It's Nelson who's running through some challenges. Eventually he's brought down on the edge of the centre circle. Dundee get the free kick. It's taken quickly, taken short. There's Marshall who has it on the left hand side looking for McDade. It's off Liam Smith out for a throw. McGowan turns away from Harkes. Looks to spin again. Breaks to McDade, whose shot is charged down by Butcher. Deflects behind for a Dundee corner.
Yeah, 2 corners, second half for Dundee. Certainly try and get the ball into the box.
Kevin Clancy being very pernickety about the placement of the ball in the quadrant as the corner comes into the area and came off a Dundee leg. In the end, no chances taken as Jamie Robson elects not to let the ball run out of play. Clears the danger for a throw-in. United will make the change, and it is going to be Peter Pollitt who makes way. Cammy Smith will come on to replace him.
Yeah, pretty much as we predicted. Peter Pollitt and a good hour, and we've certainly saw that. He's had a bigger part to play in United getting back into this game and having such a commanding lead.
Yeah, Pollitt with a fair part to play. Not a direct assist, but a secondary assist almost for the United opening goal. This corner nodded down by Mark Connolly before Calum Butcher put his header on target. Secondary assist again for United's second goal as Pollitt's free kick was nodded down by Lawrence Shanklin for Louis Appert to control and finish. And likewise for United's fourth goal, it was a direct assist for Peter Pollitt, whose corner was flicked in by the head of Butcher. And they get a free kick 20 yards inside the United half. Ness takes it into the feet 25 yards out of Nelson. Maybe not going anywhere with it, and it's back at the feet of Jamie Ness, who has to turn back towards the halfway line and squares to Jordan Marshall. Here's the 1-2 with Jordan McGee, who stayed forward. And McGee now linking up with McGowan, feeds it back to Byrne. Marshall into the feet of McGowan. There's studs showing there from McGee as he went into the challenge on the deck against Liam Smith. The referee decides that there wasn't any danger in that. McGowan has a little bit of jostling with Liam Smith off the ball as eventually the cross comes in deep. It's nodded back to the edge of the area, but it's behind McDade. Cammy Smith clears for United. Ness looking to hold off Shankland. McGee still staying forward here. Forster's gone back, but Jordan McGee is gambling. He's staying forward as Marshall has the ball wide on the left. His attempt to cross is blocked by Paul McGowan. And will go behind for the corner. Dundee going to use their final substitution, and having decided that he was a striker for the last 60 seconds or so, Jordan McGee is going to have to make way. Sure, still feeling the effects of that knock he took to the head in the first half. It was patched up, bandage around his head. He comes off, exchanges high five with Josh Meekings, who comes on to replace him, the former Inverness man. Corner taken by McDade into the area, is headed away by Stanton. It comes off Cammy Smith, who has brought down Paul McGowan. In fact, it's Calum Butcher who went into the challenge. McGowan goes down, gets the free kick, and Calum Butcher is cautioned. Just the follow through of McGowan being met by the attempted block of Calum Butcher. First United player cautioned this evening. Dundee with a free kick inside the D, 20 yards out. Couple of rolls of the ball right of centre. Hemmings and Ness stand over it. It looks like either Hemmings with the right foot or Ness with the left. A Dundee player can't be standing in the defensive wall. Cammy Kerr has just been shrugged off by the United man and then decided to lash out at him. Kevin Clancy has to stop things from boiling over inside the penalty area. Jamie Robson it was, who was just trying to shrug off. Sean Byrne. And now we will have the free kick. Whistle goes, and it's Hemmings, right-footed, who drives it low and blocked by the wall and cleared by Lawrence Shankland on the volley up to halfway, where Meekings gets his first touch. Helped on by Marshall. Here's McGowan. He's got McDade with him on the left-hand side. McGowan dances into the area, the edge of the box, clips across the back post. Terrific cross, and it's met by Nelson at the back post, who fires in low. Dundee get one back with 69.5 minutes gone. Two substitutes linking up. Paul McGowan's teasing cross from just outside the area, clipped to the back post, met by the right foot of Andrew Nelson. He capitalises, scores from close range. He gets his fourth of the season, and it's now Dundee United 5, Dundee 2.
Yeah, United camped back for too long there, allowing Dundee to have free kicks in and around their box and punish United there. But
well, I wonder what will be going through the mind of James McPake now. Should he have started with Paul McGowan? Seeing him deliver service like that to a striker at the back post. There's Hemmings with a header, breaks back into the middle of the United half. McMullen is there, down towards the halfway line. Meekings nods down, and Marshall will keep it in play on this near side. Plays it down the line towards McDade, who's beaten to the ball. McMullen challenge there with studs showing. Well, no free kick awarded against, I think it was Sean Byrne who came across sliding in with the sole of the boot. Robbie Neilson certainly didn't like that
got
challenge.
straight up there, he just got on with it.
Robbie Neilson was quick to have a conversation with fourth official Alan Muir there, who certainly body language wise from here looked like he was nodding in agreement with the United coach, but the referee didn't share the same opinion that that was dangerous play. He continues a cross in from the right hand side for Dundee. It's headed out by Calum Butcher. And it's cleared long there by Louis Appert. Goes out for a Dundee throw just inside their own half on that far side. The United fans in the George Fox stand urging their side to come out and play a higher line, as we just see that challenge again coming in. And certainly it was off the ground, both feet off the ground from Sean Burns. He launched himself into the challenge. Clear contact on the ball, but the player is going in with both feet off the ground. He's not in control. And I don't think the Dundee midfielder could have had any complaints if Kevin Clancy had blown for a free kick there.
Yeah, I think, you know, the only thing that I think got away with it was the conditions. As Cammy Kerr's header up the line goes out for a throw into United. Crossfield pass, couldn't keep it in. Jamie Robson still allows it to go over for a throw in. It's a deep in the United half.
I'm going to give away some off-mic secrets here, Dave, and say that it was when United went 3-1 up that you wrote down 6-2 and referred to it at the interval. And it was 4-1. We're just one goal away from it now. 2 goals shared in the second half thus far. All it will take is for United to add one more to replicate that famous scoreline. Here's Jordan Marshall on the left-hand side for Dundee, though. Into the feet of McDade. Marshall again, level with penalty spot, wide on the left, looking to go at the byline. William Smith covers the ground, makes the block, and goes out for a Dundee corner.
United again blocking the cross coming in.
Corner's played into the back post. Forster jumps and it'll be cleared inside the 6-yard box by United. A little bit of a slice at the ball by Mark Reynolds, but behind him it's Jamie Robson who can clear out for a throw.
Slice and then a clearance.
Again an attempted cross on the left hand side from McDade is deflected behind. Dundee racking up a few corners at the moment, but United just need to keep their composure at the back. A couple of times that there's been a bit of disarray in the 6-yard box after the initial header has been won by a dark blue shirt. Corner comes in for McDade again. Siegrist this time punches. McGowan on the edge of the area loops his effort goers, and it's nodded away by Mark Reynolds for another corner.
Yeah, United got to get the ball cleared. They're just playing too deep at the moment. Need to try and get up the park a little bit under a lot of pressure.
Mess to deliver the corner this time. A low onto the near post that's volleyed clear by Lawrence Shankland. Go out of play for a Dundee throw. Taken quickly by Cammy Kerr. And then United win it back. Just too much on that one for Shankland though. And again a sliding challenge from a Dundee player. This time Meekings went to the ground and slid a good 5 yards towards the ball as Shankland was coming the other way. Shankland just avoiding any contact there. No reason to risk anything. He's a desperate defender. Harkes with the ball at feet. Looks to play in a pair, crosses the halfway line and then goes down after he's just grabbed around the waist by Andrew Nelson. And he does his best BAFTA winning impression to give a look of innocence to referee Kevin Clancy after he managed to wrestle the United youngster around the waist and bring him down.
United's chance to get this free kick into the box from wide.
We're into the final 15 minutes here at Tannadice. 75.5 minutes played. It really would take something of unforgettable derby proportions for United to not take the 3 points from this one, but they'll want to add some gloss and to see the game out nicely for the sake of the home supporters who've packed Tannadice this evening. It's Dundee on the attack again now with McDade, low cross that's met by Butcher. 8 yards out and he clears out for a throw in. Marshall's throw. He's back to him from the chest on McGowan. McDade's onside as he collected the ball down the line. It's cleared by Shankland to Meekings. Drives a cross-field ball deep to the far side in the area. It's nodded down by Nelson, but nodded straight to Benji Siegrist.
Yeah, not going to do too much with that header other than get it into the penalty area. Looking to see if Hemmings would be there or thereabouts, but it was Siegrist that came out quickly to it. A long kick from Siegrist, just all the way through to his opposite number.
I didn't quite get an angle on that would have given anyone a hope. And the tangerine shirt, Benji Siegrist to hand. The acknowledgement went up from the United keeper. Ness plays it off the outside of the left foot through to Marshall. McGowan looking to link things up. Can't find McDade. It's out for a throw into United. Look like we'll be bringing Nicky Clark on shortly. He's dispensed with the training top. And Smith prepares to take the United throw. He's given the hurry on by referee Kevin Clancy. Throw in is taken, it's played forward towards Shanklin. Josh Meekings wins the header. And Dundee substitute defender, he turns 27 on Monday. And United will now make that final change. And it will be a replacement up front. Lauren Shanklin, power of work. Not his most influential appearance in Tangerine this evening. He's been kept quiet for a large part, but he's still got a goal and an assist to his name. Hobbling a little bit as he comes off. Done a power of running and work off the ball as usual, Lauren Shanklin. And he's replaced by Nicky Clark.
Maybe I'll see a change with big Louis Aperg moving at the centre. Clark going wide. Calum Smith in that number 10 role.
And United with a player in double figures for goals for the season still in August. Been a while since that last happened. Sam Stanton was frustrated that he was penalised inside the Dundee half. The Listers take the free kick quickly. Byrne feeds it out to the far side for Cammy Carr. Chips it down the line towards Nelson. He's beaten in there well by Jamie Robson. Stanton brings it away, plays it down the line to Louis Aper. First league goal for United tonight, and he's won a free kick there just inside the Dundee half. Some fairly rugged defending by Jordan Forster, just charging into his back as he was holding the ball up.
Certainly accumulated a lot of fouls as Louis Aper today. He's been brought down probably more than any other player, I would think. He's thrown a lot of fouls.
Ball's chipped forward towards Aper. It's headed away by Forster before it gets through to him. Clark looks to link up with the United man. It's cleared. Advantage play. The flag would have gone up against Aper, but Dundee clear to the halfway line and retain possession. Marshall lays off for McDade. Ness. Square to Byrne. Sean Byrne into the feet of Paul McMullen. Middle of the United half. He chips it into the area towards Hemmings, but there's a composed header back from Liam Smith into the waiting hands of Benji Siegrist. Flag was up on the far side anyway. Assistant David Doig flagging Hemmings offside, but Smith and Siegrist didn't know that, and they had good communication, good awareness between the two United players.
Yeah, very composed and calm header back to Benji Siegrist there.
Cammy Smith now getting away from Jimmy Ness, who tries to bring him down. Advantage played though. Smith still on the ball for United. McMullen on the right, 20 yards out, weaving his way into the area on the right hand side. Dances beyond Marshall, tries to pull it back. There's Smith on the 6 yard line, cleared off the line by Cammy Carr. He beat the goalkeeper, Cammy Smith. Carr was there to prevent United getting the 6th, and that goes out to play. Smith appeals to the near side assistant, but it is a goal kick to Dundee, and Cammy Carr for the meantime and for now has prevented it being a repeat to that 6-2 scoreline, clearing off the line.
Dundee fan Cammy Carr doesn't want to see another 6-2 against his team, but very close there. Cammy Smith very alive inside that box. Butcher going up there with Hemmings. Seen the ball was too high for the Dundee attacker, just ducked out of it and allowed it to go all the way through to Benji Siegrist.
So was that the moment that we came close to your prediction 33 minutes in, Dave?
Yes, it was. Still 10 minutes to go though, Scott. United have survived a fair bit of pressure from Dundee this last half an hour or so.
I should say 36 minutes in. Giving you credit for 3 more minutes of accuracy there. when Shanklin converted from the spot that you wrote that down. That's played long by Butcher, looking for a pair to get in behind. He's nodded down by Meekings. Marshall plays a 1-2 with Sean Byrne inside his own half, and the Dundee left back has a look up, plays it down the line, looking for McDade, who brings it into feet in front of Liam Smith, plays it square to McGowan, goes back into the centre circle for Byrne. Marshall again. Now Jamie Ness looking for targets. He tried to find teammate, but it was snuffed out by United. Nicky Clark trying to find a route through to Cammy Smith on the right. A pair battling instead as the ball rebounded in. A pair 25 yards out, slips it into the area. Cammy Smith onto the left foot.
Yes!
And that will be number 6.
Cammy Smith denied just moments ago with goal line clearance there, but not to be denied this time. A great run from Louis Appert, finds Cammy Smith loose inside that box, gets the shot away. It is Dundee United 6, Dundee 2.
Clark close to finding the way through. The ball bounced back. Louis Appert has been excellent all evening. Didn't give it up. Found the gap, slipped it through. Flag rightly stayed down. Cammy Smith tucked it back onto the left foot and kept his composure. The side foot home low to the near post from 12 yards out. United have made all the running. He may have only got one goal in the evening, but certainly Louis Appert has been a central figure for United, the 20-year-old. Full of running. He scored and he's created that one for Cammy Smith. There's plenty of talk coming into the game about Finlay Robertson of Dundee at 16 years of age, set to play in his first derby. He's been left out this evening. Robbie Neilson keeping full faith with Louis Appert at only 20 years of age. And certainly he'd be my nomination for man of the match this evening, Dave.
Yeah, he certainly run his socks off tonight, Scott. He's been fantastic, as he has been since the start of the season. We've watched his progress since he's came back from his stint in the juniors, and it's a fairy tale finish. He's playing in a Dundee derby, and he's playing in a 6-2 win Dundee derby.
Now Declan McDade. He's looking to try and avoid a repeat of the 6-2 scoreline. He'll be trying to get a third. United meantime slip it forward. Appert gives chase, but the ball runs through into the 18-yard box for Jack Hamilton, who has repeated the feat of Arvid Schenk and conceding 6 on his first derby in a Dundee shirt. The ball's played down the right hand side towards Nelson, who can't keep it in play, and he goes out for the throw in.
Just over the 5 minutes remaining. I think it'll be an empty stand we're going to be in soon. The Jerry Kerr's emptying by the minute. May well be the 80-minute fire drill that set the Dundee fans scampering into the streets. Not a United fan left to seat yet.
Cammy Smith with a promotion from the Championship to his name in a St Mirren shirt. 25th league appearance for United across 2 spells this evening. And that's his 3rd league goal. Off the bench tonight as Dundee get the free kick inside the United half. Cammy Kerr will sling the ball in from the right hand side. Only about 15 yards into the United half, but the long ball is played into the area, looking for Meekings. Siegrist out. It's 2 firm fists on the ball to clear out to the near side where McDade collects. McDade chips it back in towards the edge of the box. Butcher is well over the top of McGowan, and then Ian Harkes can just clear the ball to safety inside the Dundee half and force Cammy Kerr to chase it back and take a throw in midway inside the Dundee half with just under 4 minutes remaining. United leading the derby by 6-2. Off the head of McMullen as it comes into the United half, and it's Ness who challenges again. McGowan losing his balance, can't get the ball under control. Harkes gets United back moving, and Cammy Smith is passed just behind Nicky Clark, picked up by Kami Kerr, who's chased back by Clark and forces Kerr into the error. He puts it out of play. To get the throw, and there's no pressure here on Stanton, who can collect from Robson's throw and look for the feet of a pair on the halfway line. Stretching, couldn't bring it under control. Now McDade. Two tangerine shirts in front of him. Tries to get the cross in left footed. It's blocked by McMullen. Spins and rolls out of play for a throw in. Taken quickly. And Ness. Well challenged there by Ian Harkes, who can then shepherd the ball out of play for the goal kick.
Great strength there from Harkes. Just made sure he was going to win that one and make sure he was going to go over for the goal kick.
United may have lost Mark Connolly through injury 25 minutes in, but without wishing to be unfair on Mark Connolly, they've not really suffered as a result. Ian Harkes playing an effective role. Calum Butcher likewise slotting in at the back as he did at East End Park. I suppose you would say that if Calum Butcher was playing the exact same role that Ian Harkes has played since coming on, perhaps he'd have been the man to get that fifth goal just after half time, and Calum Butcher would have had the hat trick maybe.
Ifs and buts, Scott, ifs and buts.
There's still time for him to get that third of the evening, as we have just over 2 minutes in the 90 remaining plus added time. Paul McMullen wins it for United inside their own half. Stanton does well to react first in front of Sean Byrne. Plays the ball out to Jamie Robson, who drives forward down the United left. He's tripped there by Andrew Nelson. And then met by another challenge by Kami Kerr. A free kick is given for the initial one, and Andrew Nelson is cautioned by referee Kevin Clancy. Attendance confirmed as 14,108.
Won't be 14,000 in this ground now. Most of the 3,000 Dundee ticket purchasers left the building.
United with a free kick on the far side. Butcher and Reynolds, I was going to say, have stayed back. Calum Butcher just having a check with the technical area and his way forward. I think he wants the hat trick. He goes forward. Mark Reynolds stays in the halfway line to deal with Kane Hemmings. There's McMullen, who swings in the free kick towards Butcher in the area, who wins the header. Oh! It's off the post, but the free kick was awarded. Shove spotted in the middle by referee Kevin Clancy. Just a hand up into the back of Jordan Forster by Calum Butcher. Penalised. Didn't quite hear the whistle to begin with, and that was an agonising watch as the ball looped towards the far post. It wouldn't have counted even if it had dropped into the net. In the meantime, that will be a goal kick at the other end as Kane Hemmings cuts a frustrated figure in the United 18-yard box. 89 and a half minutes gone. It looks like your prediction will come true, Dave.
Yes, Scott, come for me for your betting tips if you want any. I wonder what you would have got for 6-2.
3 points.
Quite a lot.
Will be 12 from 12 for United to start the championship campaign. Can't do any more than that. 3 minutes of added time to be played. Just move into that now. Alan Muir, the fourth official, showing the digital board. The United fans continue their chant of E17, just to eclipse that 6-2 from a few years back. Cammy Smith has become the new Charlie Telfer. That ball stayed in play on the near side. McDade works it in field. Harkes still battling hard.
Well done.
That is a little hack out at him there by the frustrated Hemmings. He'll be rather fortunate to escape a yellow card for that. I think charity being shown by Kevin Clancy in added time. Robbie Neilson tells Mark Butcher, what's done it again? Calum Butcher to chip that forward. Stanton. Now McMullen into the feet of Cammy Smith, looking to turn away from Meekings, who recovers well. McDade's ball forward is blocked. McMullen passes behind a pair who is spinning to the right channel. Jordan Forster just clears the ball out of play for a United throw-in. We're almost midway through the indicated added time. United with the ball inside the Dundee half with a throw-in that will be taken by Liam Smith. Power gives chase, but that will run out for the goal kick. United with less than 90 seconds to add a 7th if the supporters were to get their way.
We should stop it with this 7.
Robbie Neilson watches on. Harkes was fouled there by Andrew Nelson as the ball came forward. Referee blows for United to take the free kick. Reynolds lifts it down the United left. It's Forster who heads away. Clark linking up here with Cammy Smith. The 2 substitutes do well, and it pops out to the 3rd substitute, Ian Harkes. Smith back to a pair wide on the left. Invites Butcher to come forward. A chance from 30 yards. Drives it, but off the outside of the right foot. Slices it wide. That was the chance of the hat-trick, Calum. Didn't quite get his name down into United folklore. Although he has just been named the man of the match this evening. It would have been perfect timing had he found the back of the net with that one. And there goes the full-time whistle. United victorious in the first derby of the season. More importantly, it's 12 points from 12 to start the Ladbrokes Championship season. There's a marker laid down in terms of the 2 favourites for promotion. United open up a 7-point gap over their city neighbours. It's a 7-point gap that sees United top the table. 12 points from 12. 14 goals scored from their first 4 games. They're averaging almost 4 per game. 3.5 goals per game in the first 4 games of the season. They may have conceded 4 in the first 4, but already that goal difference has a healthy look. A goal difference of plus 10 from United's first 4 league games. James McPake's side, they dropped down a place courtesy of the other game this evening. They dropped down to 5th place, having played 4 games. Teams around them will play tomorrow. Plenty of pundits have suggested it's a fight between the 2 Dundee sides for promotion this season. Well, United, if that is to be the case, have drawn first blood in terms of the head-to-head between the 2 sides. The damage, much of it was done in the first half. United opened the scoring. Quarter of an hour in, after a scare in the first 10 minutes when Dundee had a goal disallowed. It was Calum Butcher who opened the scoring 15 minutes in. Getting his head onto the end of a knock square by Mark Connolly from Peter Pollitt's corner. United were then pulled level midway inside the first half. Kane Hemmings scoring from close range to tie things up at 1 apiece. Well, that was only to be the case for 10 minutes or so before United went back in front. It was a goal scored by Louis Appert, receiving the knockdown from Lauren Shankland. Took it on the chest to control it and fired the right foot shot in off the crossbar. 2 minutes later, United had a chance from the spot. Paul McMullen fouled by Declan McDade inside the area. And Lauren Shankland stepped up to get his obligatory goal in a United shirt from the penalty spot. That made it 3-1. United were to get a 4th with 5 minutes of the half-time remaining. It was Calum Butcher to get his 2nd of the evening. Peter Pollitt's corner. And Butcher on the 6-yard line. Glancing header in off the far post to give United a 4-1 lead at half-time. 4-1 became 5-1 within a minute of the restart. Ian Harkes having come on as a first half substitute, seeing his long-range effort deflected off the head of a defender into the corner. Nothing Hamilton could do about that one. That made it 5-1. Dundee decided to shut up shop, took a striker off for a midfielder. At that point in time, the midfielder coming on was Paul McGowan. He was creator for a consolation for the D's. His chipped cross from the left met at the back post by fellow substitute Andrew Nelson, who finished from close range. But the scoring was to be completed by United with a 6th goal in the closing stages. Louis Appert with the assist. Turning away from Cammy Kerr. Great work from the United youngster. Slipping in, Cammy Smith, who'd come on as a substitute. And he turned the ball onto his left foot and finished low into the near post to repeat a famous derby scoreline. Full time at Tannadice. And it's finished Dundee United 6, Dundee 2. Dave, I'm sure there were many coming here saying that United's showing in the season so far, maximum points, 3 wins from 3. Like Dundee, they played Inverness, they played Dunfermline. The D's were only able to manage draws against those two sides. There were plenty who came here saying United should have the upper hand. Form books go out the window on Derby Day. It needed United to step up, needed the players on the park to show that they could handle the pressure, and boy have they shown that tonight.
Yeah, Scott, you could only, really respect the dig that for United to get back in that game. At some points it looked like Dundee were going to overpower United, but they didn't, and United scored at the right times, to go once Dundee equalised at 1-1, to get those 2 goals going, 3-1, then 4-1, 5-1, 5-2 and then 6-2. It's fantastic that they could keep that. They've got that resilience to come back, not in the face of adversity, but in the face of pressure, the face of a team that's putting you under pressure, and they came back and showed what they're worth. I've been pleasantly surprised how United have progressed, and I'm even more so tonight. There's much better things to come from United, but this will have given them belief that they could go on and do big things this season. Let's not get big-headed, let's not get above our station, but performances like that on top of flowing football performances that we saw already just shows that we're up for the fight, as well as to try and play teams off the park. And as you said, those 10 goals, goal difference after only 4 games is going to be a massive bonus to United going forward. I'm loving the atmosphere around Tannadice tonight. It was fantastic. Both sets of fans really behind their own teams, but United came out on top, as they always do here when they win 6-2. I love it.
Well, 2 games in the Ladbrokes Championship this evening. And the first of those kicked off up in the Highlands at 7:05. And that finished Inverness Thistle 5, Greenock Morton 0. Morton, who started the evening in second place, have been dropped 2 places in the table. They've been leapfrogged by Inverness Thistle. The damage to the goal difference of Morton has seen them drop below Ayr United as well in the table, so they stay on 6 points. Inverness Thistle move up into second spot on 7 points, which means United have a gap of 5 points at the top of the table this evening. Plenty of games tomorrow to perhaps influence that one. The rest of the fixtures in this weekend, the Ladbrokes Championship fixtures, are Broth take on Dunfermline at Gayfield tomorrow. Queen of the South play Alloa Athletic at Palmerston. The one which could cut into that gap at the top of the table for United is at Firhill, where Partick take on Ayr United. If Ayr were to win that one, United's gap would be restored to 3 at the top of the table. If, however, Partick were to win it, United will finish the weekend with a 7-point gap at the top of the table. The only other team that could make it onto 7 points or better this weekend is Arbroath. A win against Dunfermline for them at Gayfield tomorrow would see them join Calais Thistle on 7 points. United head and shoulders above the rest, 12 points from 4 matches in the Ladbrokes Championship season, and a healthy goal difference of +10 after 4 games played, and that is because they've defeated Dundee by 6-2 here at Tannadice tonight. A double for Calum Butcher inside the first half. He opened the scoring. The D's did momentarily pull it back level at 1 goal apiece. Kane Hemmings getting his first goal of his second spell at Tannadice. But United restored the advantage through Louis Appert, and then a penalty from Lawrence Shanklin moved him into double figures for the season. 10 goals in all competitions, 8 league goals in 4 league games for United Summer Edition. And before half time there was time for Butcher's second goal. 4-1 at the interval. Ian Harkes made it 5 within a minute of the restart. Dees then pulled another consolation back. Andrew Nelson at the back post converting to make it 5-2, but the scoring was completed by United by substitute Cammy Smith, who was played in by Louis Appert. Cammy Smith getting the ball onto his left foot, rolling it home to repeat that famous Derby scoreline. And from now on, it's not only Charlie Telfer who scored the sixth, it's Cammy Smith who also scored the sixth. It finished here 6-2 to United. A good start to the weekend for all Tangerines. Thank you for joining us on Arab Zone, whether you've been with us on the Live Zone video feed or the audio from your commentary team tonight. Myself, Scott Simpson, alongside Dave Hill from the rest of the United media team. I hope that sets you up for a good weekend. The usual post-match features will be on Arab Zone, the post-match interviews, goals clip, and then full highlights later in the weekend. But from the media team, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back with you when United are next in action next weekend, a home Challenge Cup tie against Arbroath. And the next league game is 2 weeks tomorrow at Somerset Park against Ayr United. But from Tannadice this evening, bye for now.